Hello and welcome to the AfricaEcoRace 2016, the real race to Dakar. After a day of trouble for many competitors to start the new year, punctures and problems for top competitors like Grigorov, Dos Santos, Tomacek and Nifontova, the Kamaz truck of Shibolov making history as the first truck ever to lead the overall standings in the Africa race, most teams worked hard into the night and will be happy to start a new day. So this is stage 5, the last stage in Morocco before we cross the border to Mauritania. It's a spectacular 453 kilometers of mostly sand dunes, starting in the Amra lowlands and finishing on the Atlantic coast of Dakhla. So starting early out of the bivouac is the bikes, as always. And today threw up a few navigational problems for some of the riders. This is Stefan Hamad, has to get off the bike to check something. Has a good look around. In the middle of nowhere. But manages to get going again. He finishes in 10th position, but still goes up 2 places on the overall leaderboard. Just look at how vast the desert expanse is and the surface changes. This is Dmitry Agoshkov, who was 8th in the stage today, consistently in the top 10 all rally so far. That is the KTM of Slovakian rider Jan Zatko. He was 6th on the stage, puts him back into the overall top 10. Stefano Chiusi, the Italian on his Husqvarna bike, contemplates the long ride ahead and does it very well. 5th position, leaps up the overall leaderboard from 10th to 6th. Look at the many tracks, doesn't know which one to follow. Now, this is the father-son team of Jose Fernando Sosa Sr. and Sosa Jr. An incredible ride. Working together, they came 4th and 2nd.
We can't believe that this is happening. It's the first time we are in a rally. It's new for us. We are very happy, and so we hope to get these results until the end. Sentes-te mais forte quando corremos os dois juntos?
Sim.
Yes. Fica assim. He's emotional.
Such emotional scenes, brilliant to see. Now this is Yevgenia Nestorova. She is riding brilliantly today. She splits the Portuguese family party, only 6 seconds behind Sosa Sr. on her Husqvarna bike. She's from Kazakhstan. But the man in front, as always, is Per Anders Ulevalsiter, and he's overtaking QC, which means he must have had a problem at the start of the stage, but he's making up ground, and overall 42 minutes quicker than anyone else. This Norwegian is a true legend at this sport.
This morning it started very bad at the start. I took a little bit the wrong gap from the start line. And I went 17 kilometers. And then I turned around, come back to the start, and then, I walked, I drove up through the field. But then one more time I was stuck in the bush. There was a lot of trees everywhere. It was in a river, kind of, a dry river. And I was stuck. So I was there for 5-6 minutes and I get out. I was so lucky and so happy also.
And still 42 minutes quicker than anyone else. Incredible. The bad news for Sosa Senior is he got a penalty which drops him to P12 on the stage, but that promotes Junior to P3. Now, Ola Valsita's lead of over 2 hours seems unassailable, but there's a nice battle for P2 between Anastasia Nefontova and her countryman Agrashkov, just over 3 minutes behind. Well, the bikes had a little bit of trouble navigating their way through some of these wide open desert expanses in Morocco, and I think similar problems for Jean-Antoine Sabatier, last year's winner in his buggy, all the way back in 15th on the stage. And this is Jeremy Choiseau, the Frenchman, in his Optimus buggy. A good start, but look at the speed he gets here, powering over this stage. Just about make out some dust in the distance, which will help him as a guidance. But he stops in the stage, loses nearly 2 hours with a technical problem. No such trouble for Balázs Zalé, the Hungarian in his Opel. Had a shaky start to the rally. The Hungarian driver is finding his speed. A P6 on this stage puts him 10th overall. This is Pascal Thomas, bouncing his way through the desert undergrowth. It's getting warmer and warmer as we travel further south. The landscape becoming drier and more indistinguishable. It's very hard to know if you're going in the right direction when there's no tracks ahead of you. And from a little buggy to a massive Hummer, this is Yuri Tsyganov, the Kazakhstan driver, starting his climb back up the leaderboard after his disastrous puncture-plagued stage 4. Look at that. Absolutely flat out. And you can see he's making progress. He's overtaking number 215, that's Yves Froment, on the stage. Now, this is Mathieu Serradori, the French driver, in his Proto. Just trying to ditch hook, but it's hard when it's not a ditch, when it's like a massive sandy curb. Now, he won stage 2, and consistency has kept him in 4th overall. But look, even a consistent driver like Mathieu is finding it hard to get the route exactly right. He has to do a one-point turn, try and find himself back en route. Now this is Anton Grigorov, the Russian driver. He lost hours stuck in the stage yesterday. He still has a mountain to climb though. He's back in 22nd overall, and he's a genuine contender, or at least was, for a win at this rally. Oh, a nice big bump there. The back end flying up on Grigorov's car. But if you want to see pure commitment and 100% speed, just look at this guy, the Kazakhstan driver, Kanat Shagirov in his Toyota, absolutely flying across the desert. Flat out, look at that. Unbelievable. He wins the stage, but has a close fight with Grigorov. His first stage win of the rally, but he has been consistent and then takes the overall lead again. Amazing. You can see how physically hard it was for him. He says it was a very, very hard stage, especially the navigation. We were afraid a few times to miss the good route, but finally we did, and we got to the finish line pretty fast. And now to the beasts of the desert. Not the camels, the trucks. This is the Scania truck of Miklos Kovac, the Hungarian driver who won the Africa race in 2010. And look at the difference in the way that he takes that left-hander. Just takes it in his stride, unlike Grigorov earlier. And a nice viewpoint from the front of the truck. Elizabeth Jacinto, the Portuguese driver, it's a pretty close fight with Kovac, but she's 4th with a time of 4 hours, 43 minutes and 13 seconds. Superb drive by Elisabetta. terrible day yesterday, but you can see the rear right corner of the Tatra truck of Tomasz Tomaszek is fully mended, and it must be a relief after yesterday's disaster to come in third position on this stage with a time of 4 hours 38 minutes 58 seconds, but he's still a long way behind in the overall standings. Now, this is one of the two dominant KAMAZ trucks, Sergei Kiprianov, the Russian driver. And after a terrible day 4 as well, like Tomaszek, this second KAMAZ truck is back on form. Second position on the stage with a time of 4 hours, 31 minutes and 56 seconds. They may look like they lumber a little bit off the start line, but once they get going, there is no stopping these things. Especially this one. Truck number 400. Anton Shilov, blowing away the rest of the field, his fourth consecutive scratch time on this stage, proving why he is one of the best truck drivers in the world.
Сегодня останавливались мы только поменять колесо, да, настигла нас небольшая неудача сегодня опять же.
He says, we had tire problems and a puncture just like yesterday. We had to stop and change it and we lost time, but it could have been worse. The stage was really hard, especially with the navigation. We thought we got the route wrong, but fortunately my co-driver found the right way.
Уже под конец 2 раза чудом мы выехали на нужную дорогу. Спасибо штурману, что он нашел все-таки этот путь.
Spasibo indeed, thanks to Robert Amatich, the co-driver. That's why they're there in the cabin. So for the first time this rally, the top 11 cars were all ahead of the trucks. Shagarov and co-driver Yevtekyov showing everybody their dust. Which leaves us with these standings. Shibolov's historic stand as a truck at the top of the leaderboard didn't last. He drops to second. The 3 French drivers, Thomas, Serradori and Sabatier, holding their ground in the fight for P3. So from the Moroccan Atlantic coast, the bivouac moves on to Mauritania for stage 6. Join us again tomorrow